In this show, my studio guest Marita van der Venter explains the complex process of creating a bronze sculpture. But first, let's meet the artist who creates heaven and earth with wings of glass and bronze. Sonja Smyers is a renowned sculptor from Casterbridge and White River. Originally, she hails from Belgium, where she trained as an artist. Sonja and her husband subsequently fell in love with Mpumalanga. Her sensual and alluring sculptures of young women reflect innocence and beauty and are often cast in bronze. Even though bronze is a heavy metal, her sculptures look light and some are ready to fly.
Bronze was not always my medium. I started with pottery, making pots, and I was already making small sculptures, but it was difficult to put them in a kiln because you are always afraid that there are bubbles inside. But in 2016, we drove to White River and stopped at Casterbridge, and I met there the bronze caster, and at that time the whole world changed for me and I started to do the bronzes. The movement in my sculptures is important because bronze is very heavy, and I want to, if you look at my bronzes, it looks that they are very light because I put them on one wing or on one foot, and that's very important for me that they, some of them also dancing, and it looks that they are going up and that they can fly, and that I'm working for that. When I'm working with clay, it's strange, but then I think at nothing. It is really a relaxing thing for me. Once I have my clay in my hands, I'm out of this world. The sensuality in my statues, I think it is in me. I always loved beautiful women, I loved beautiful clothes, but the way that they are moving, because it is a statue, but it looks that they are moving. So, and a woman have to be very strong in this time. That I try to put in my statues. In the foundry, we use the lost wax method because this is the best method that we can use to have my bronzes, because they have very small fingers, and there are other methods, but this is the best one. That's why we use this very old method to casting bronze.
Sonja's bold-winged female sculpture dominates the entrance to the new Bondhuis Gallery in Pretoria.
My big sculpture, her name is Carry Me Home. And I gave her that name. That name was already in my mind when I started to build her up in clay. The wings is because she has to carry me home. One day we all are going, and this is, for me, is that she will bring me home where I will go later.
Marita van der Venter from Pro Art Bronze Foundry joins us today, and together we're excited to explore the art scene in Mpumalanga. Hello Marita, and welcome on the sofa.
Welcome.
Marita, I have an intrinsic love for bronze sculptures and statues, and I seem to never have enough money to afford them. Talk me through the whole process of creating one of these statues.
Okay, the first thing what we will start with is a master mold. So you as artist is bringing me in your clay, what you make for us, and then from there we make a master mold. So that's a silicone rubber mold to capture all that small fine detail of your sculpture. So, and after that then we will put a layers of rubber around it, and so then it sets. And then after that we make a resin casing around them. So that's just to keep the rubber in place. And then it goes to the wax department where we have to paint the wax in the rubber mold. And then afterwards we are bringing the two molds together. Then we pour the wax inside. It's just to seal the whole seam line off. Then we wait to it for cooling down, and afterwards then we have to take it apart again. Then we take the wax out of the mold. So now you've got the wax by you, and there's a seam line what's not nice. So you have to work it off. So I've got two beautiful ladies what's working it off for me. So then they sit and work off, put all the fine detail you were putting on your clay, they're putting it back for us. And afterwards we have to cut out lids. For otherwise you're going to have a solid bronze. So you have to have a hollow bronze. So then they cut out lids, we runner it, we have a main runner what's going down to feed the whole wax process when it gets by the bronze process. And then after that one, we send it off to the ceramics. Then we dip it in fine sand to get all the fine details you put on your clay again on the wax. And then afterwards, then we dip, dry, dry, until the whole process is a nice thick shell of ceramics. Then afterwards, we cut open the lid, and then we are de-waxing all the wax out. So the ceramic was catching all that fine detail of the wax again. So now you've got the empty shell of your ceramics, and then you put it in your igloo. So the igloo you warm up on 900 degrees, and the bronze is 1,200 degrees. So it's very, very hot. And then after that, we pour in the bronze in your ceramics. It cools down for 2 to 3 hours. Then you can take off the ceramic shell again. So the wax you can recycle again, but the ceramics is only once. So then after you, then it goes to for sandblasting. When we open this shelves, they go to sandblasting. We sandblasting it, everything nice to get all that fine grog out. And afterwards then go to the metal section. So the metal section have to assemble everything again back with welding. So all the fine detail you put on your clay, they're putting back on the metal section to get that the statue can stand together again, that you can't see the lids. Then afterwards, then I go to the patina. So if you tell me, okay, I want a honey brown patina, that's your color on the end of the day, what is going to be on your sculpture. So, or you want it honey brown, or you want a special patina like a sable looks like, we can do that as well. If you want it green, we can do it all the old-fashioned bronze way. It's turning most a dark green color on the end of the day when it stands many years back. We can do that as well.
It's absolutely riveting stuff. So, say for instance, a life-size statue, how long would that take you from beginning to end? I mean, you've been talking us through these steps of how you create this sculpture or statue. I mean, it must be taking months, weeks.
It's take weeks. The mold section, it will take roughly a week for the whole sculpture to get in rubber and in fiberglass. And then from there, it's normal 4 to 6 weeks to the end product.
For a life size?
For a life size, bigger than life size, we will go to 8 weeks just to give us that extra time. But normally it's 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay. And tell me, why is this art form so much different from painting?
Well, on bronze is just you as a painter is one person, you're painting, but on your bronze sculpture there is different sections so I need a lot of people to work on one sculpture, so we need handwork, what's going in there, where a painter is standing and he's painting, only he's painting.
Thank you very much, Marita. Now I understand why it's so expensive. It's labor intensive. Copper is extremely expensive. That's the artist's reputational value, durability, and of course, rarity, because it takes such a long time. Marita, thank you very much for coming into the Surfer today.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me here.
In the next episode, we have a real treat for motorheads and lovers of old tractors, cars, and motorbikes. Be sure to join me on Shepherd Surfer.